Hey, what is going on? I think we're going to have a snow day tomorrow. I'm recording this on Thursday. We'll probably watch this on Monday, but we're starting a new unit, Unit 4. Unit 4, very difficult unit. And what makes this so difficult is we're not talking so much about fiction anymore. Like the first unit, not all of it, but a lot of it was fiction, meaning fake. This is nonfiction, meaning it's not fake. Therefore, it's real. So, a lot of nonfiction. And the first thing that we're going to read today actually could come from a science textbook. And the hard thing about like science and social studies is that the reading in those classes is often harder than the reading you have in English class. And we're going to see this today. We would call this like an informative text. So it's not there to entertain, it's there to inform you. Informative text. And those can be pretty difficult. But let me make this a little bit bigger and we can talk about that's not going to work, is it? Yeah, let's talk about the essential question for this introduction. If you remember, the last unit we did had an essential question about the rites of passage that one has to go through on their way to adulthood or to maturity, something like that. Here, the essential question is, in what different ways can people be intelligent? For example, I was always pretty good at English, at writing. I, however, have been notoriously bad at math. So that's what we're talking about with how one person can be really, really accomplished or really smart. Um, Maybe it comes easy to them at first, and then they work hard to get better at it. And then just we only have so much life to live that I'm a horrible drawer. And it doesn't really interest me that much. So I've never really taken the time to get good at drawing. But I'm sure you have something that you're really good at. And the more you do it, the better you get. And there will be other things that you don't feel quite as comfortable doing. So you never have really gotten good at that. So in this unit, we're going to try to figure out why some people are better at some things and other people are better at other things. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the next part here, and I'll just read this right here. Human intelligence. So we're not talking about dogs. We're not talking, let's do it yellow. Human intelligence. I'll talk about animals, just people in this unit. Intelligence can take on many forms, whether it involves having an amazing memory or the ability to create and perform art. Writers, scientists, scholars, those are just people who study things, scholars and artists have explored the intelligence and different ways people can learn and process information. This unit is designed to allow you to consider a range of perspectives on the concept of human intelligence. One thing, I'm going to tell a personal story. You probably tune out. You're like, I don't want to hear this guy's personal stories. But my dad passed away. I think I've told you that like 20 years ago, 23 years ago, sadly. But he was never like a book guy. Like I was always reading books. He was not a book guy. But he was very intelligent, extremely intelligent when it came to fixing things. And I wish I had inherited some of that from him. I wish when he tried to teach me some of that stuff that I had listened. But man, a refrigerator, broke in our house, he knew how to fix it. Car, he knew how to fix all that stuff. He would have saved me a ton of money if I would have just listened. But he was very intelligent. I'd probably say a genius in those type of things. And I know that some of you, because I've spoken to you, are just like that. You can look at a carburetor. I don't even know what a carburetor is. Be like, I know how to fix that thing. Boom, 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 boom. You don't have to have an instruction manual. You don't have to watch a YouTube video. But maybe You know, you're not that good at baking. I can bake a cake. I'm pretty good at baking. I mean, it's just reading and following directions, right? My biscuits, my family loves my biscuits. So some people, they might be really good at fixing a car, never seeing it. I just know how this works, but they can't bake pancakes or make pancakes as well as I can. I know the right touch. Put in those secret ingredients. You put in some cinnamon, put in some apples, maybe some bananas. Yeah, if you like that kind of stuff. So in just different ways we have talent, or we just know something. I think the thing is that when something interests you, or the first time you do it, you have a little success, most people will just keep doing that because it's fun, it interests them, it might come easy, so they keep getting better and better at it. Which is why the scary thing is, by now in the 8th grade, hopefully you're a good reader, because it's really hard to catch up, because all those other readers who are really good, they spend some free time reading and they just keep getting better. So I would say it is, I don't want to preach too much, but it is important to become a good reader, which is why we do a lot of reading in class, or at least I do a lot of reading and you can see it. And then hopefully you are reading on your own. So the next part of this is actually really super difficult. Probably the hardest thing that we've read. It's short, which is good. And there are a whole bunch of vocabulary words that maybe we should do a quiz on them, but this is hard enough. So I don't want to have a quiz with these words, but I do want to introduce some of the words to you. And the good thing about this little article, let's take a look. When I say little article, it's like 5 paragraphs. So it's a little article, but the difficult words that they do introduce, there will be some context clues. And if you stop and look, you will hopefully understand them. But you gotta be a decent reader for this, because it is written at every bit of an 8th grade level. That's why we read it together. And hopefully you're reading this on your own a little bit too. Maybe read it over 2-3 times. I know you're probably laughing, but I mean, that's a really good way to get some of that difficult information down. Let's look at the introduction. And literally, this might be the only thing we do. Can I highlight that? I can't highlight this? No. Well, I'm reading right here. And we're going to learn about the human brain. Lots of science-like terms here, like synapses and stuff like that. Really hard stuff. This is the launch text. It just means like the text to get us started for the unit. And this is the informative model to give you information. This selection is an example of an informative text. Like, wait, what? What's an informative text? Look, a lot of times when something is bold and it has a comma next to it, they're going to explain what that new term is. Well, it's a type of writing in which an author presents facts and details. That's what informative text is. This is the type of writing you will develop in the performance-based assessment at the end of this unit. We still have to do the performance-based assessment for the end of Unit 1, but I wanted to wait until we didn't have any vacations kind of looming. We'll get to that. That won't be too bad. But let's not worry about that right now. Maybe I should not have mentioned it. As you read, look at the way the ideas are introduced and the facts and details are presented. Mark the text to help you determine key ideas and details. So when they say mark the text, it means to highlight. There will be copies of this text on the back table if you want to do that. But I don't think it's anything we have to worry about right now. This is going on 10 minutes. These lessons, when they're a little bit more difficult and a little bit more thinking has to go into it. If we're reading Crash, hopefully that's a little bit easier. But at the same time, 2 or 3 words on a page, they might be kind of new, but you're not learning as many new words as like the human brain. There might be 10 or 15 in this little 5-paragraph essay. So why don't we stop right there at about 10 minutes. And then on Tuesday, we'll actually read the article. Maybe on Tuesday, we'll learn some of the vocabulary words first. No quiz. You just have to watch the video, let it wash over you, and then we'll read the article because this is a tough one. All right. See ya. Adios.